Hi, welcome to the Corner of Knit and Tea, episode 235. My name is Laura. I'm also known as Fluffy K on Ravelry, Fluffy Kira on Instagram and Twitter. I blog over at thecornerofknitandtea.com, and that's where this episode and every episode show notes will be. I have an Etsy shop called The Corner of Knit and Tea, where I sell my handspun yarns, and we have a Ravelry group called The Corner of Knit and Tea. If you haven't come and joined us, please do. Excuse me. Welcome to the podcast. It is Monday, July 1st, and we are now halfway through the year and officially into summer, and wow, it has gone by fast. The Midwest doesn't waste any time in catching up. It has been in the high 80s to 90s with humidity the last week or so. So it has been very warm. We have the air conditioning on inside, and of course I get chilled in that. So hot tea will be lovely today. I hope you have had a great week. I caught up on work last week and sort of recovered from all the travels. And now I'm looking forward to a month at home. Happy Canada Day to those of you who celebrate. It's been throwing me off because you have your holiday today and I have some Canadian clients. And then us Americans have our holiday on July 4th, which is Thursday. So the week is a little discombobulated because I worked today, but I won't work on Thursday. And so I have been sort of preparing up for the holiday week. I think my in-laws are coming for the 4th, so I spent some time cleaning this weekend and sorting through things, and I found some things, and I sorted through a bunch of yarn and started some new projects and prepped for a bunch of projects. And so I have lots to talk about today. So settle in, grab a cup of tea, and let's get going. One of the things I unearthed this weekend was I was cleaning my kitchen catch-all bin. I kind of have a bin where I put bills and photos and cards and a little bit of everything. And one of the things that I unearthed was, I told you I get the Republic of Tea catalogs and they always come with free samples. And I unearthed like 8 or 10 samples that I had just like thrown in this bin and not touched. So today I am drinking Cinnamon Toast Black, which is a high calf tea, which I didn't necessarily need. I probably wouldn't buy the high calf teas because I have enough adrenaline on my own. But this came from Republic of Tea, and it says fine black tea blended with an extra boost of caffeine, and it's got cinnamon, and it says it has 116 milligrams with the extra caffeine. It says black tea normally has 50 milligrams, coffee normally has 100 milligrams, and I think recommendations are around 200 milligrams of caffeine a day. This says it has black tea, cinnamon, green tea extract, stevia, natural apple and caramel flavors, toasted rice, natural bitter almond, and cinnamon flavors. So that is what I am drinking today, and I am drinking it in my Stonehenge mug because it was close and it reminded me of England, and who doesn't love sheep in front of Stonehenge? So that is what I'm drinking today. Ooh, that is really good. Like I said, I probably won't buy it again because I certainly do not need the extra boost of caffeine. But it's like a cinnamon cookie. It's really good. So, let's talk about what I've been working on this week. Actually, I have 2 finishes, one small, one larger. So I'll show you the first one, which is small, and technically they're not 100% finished because I have not woven in my ends. So I'm going to shove them to the inside of the project, and then I will put them on my desk afterwards to remind me to go ahead and weave in the ends. Although they might be, you know what, they're done on one, they're just not done on the second one. This is a pair of socks for Miles. This is leftover green yarn that I used for my Pebbles and Pathways sock yarn. I don't remember what yarn it is, and the tag got separated. So it is, I'm gonna say probably Superwash Merino, and it is kind of in this bright acidy green. I loved it for spring socks, and now I got a small pair of socks for Miles. He'll be 3 in the fall, so that's why these are so tiny. Hopefully they will fit him, and I'm glad to have a pair of socks done for him. I think I have enough left in the ball. I have to weigh out, but I think I have enough left to get one more pair of socks for his sister out of it. So 3 pairs of socks out of 1 ball of yarn. Not bad. So that might be what I'll start. In the meantime, technically, I don't know if this even counts as a start. sort of does. Technically, I started my next sock for me. This is going to be the matching sock to the stripy 10 Days of Fiesta sock that I did before. It was a shorty. It's on a sock blocker somewhere. And it is striped yarn by Mustache Yarn. So that is what I'm doing. I had the two, actually this is the first ball. This is the second ball. I had the two perfect skeins, and I'm hoping to get socks for the kids out of these too. So this is just my sock bag. Partway through the week, I finished the first project and needed to start the second, and then I was going to be out running around in the car running errands with my husband, and I needed something really easy to work on that I didn't have to think about casting on. So that was these little socks, 4 miles, and those are done and will go in my stash of things. He'll get all kinds of stuff at Christmas. He gets all his winter gear and socks and all kinds of things. So I am slowly building up my stash of that. The big finish that I did this week is, and these were vanilla socks. I did them on US Zeros, and I think they're 44 stitches. I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel. So they were just vanilla, just easy peasy. So the big finish that I have for this week is my review for Kramer Yarns. It's Tatami Tweed, and I have the labels here along with the leftover yarn. Sorry for the crinkling. This is Kramer Yarn Tatami Tweed DK, and it is a 45% cotton, 55% acrylic, approximately a DK weight and 250 yards in the skeins, which retail for $5.90. So they are a good deal, and my colorway is Loganberry. And I was knitting Opportune from Knitty. It is a pattern by Emily Ringelman, and it is a kind of lacy summer sweater / pool cover-up. And I have finished. Technically, I was supposed to be done in June, and I was done with the knitting in June. I finished it on Saturday, but I didn't get a chance to photograph it and post a blog post until today. So if you are looking for my review, it is up today. My review is that I actually really enjoyed knitting with the yarn. You know, I'm a bit of a yarn snob. I don't always enjoy knitting with acrylics. I found this blend really, really nice. It's a blend of 45% cotton, 55% acrylic, and what I find that does is the cotton is super soft, but cotton can be really hard on your hands. And the acrylic makes it there's much more give. I felt like I was knitting with like regular wool or Pima cotton or something really nice, and I didn't feel like my hands didn't get stressed in knitting this because I didn't feel like it was super rigid the way cotton can sometimes feel. The only place that I really noticed that it was cotton was in the bind off, because the bind off was very sturdy and had no real give, and so I had to be careful when I did my bind offs that I allowed enough slack such that it wouldn't be constricting. Opportune is a big boxy cardigan, which is basically meant to be a summer cover-up. It is done with, I don't know exactly what to call this lace. I've been calling it trellis lace. It is kind of some diagonal lace. Let's see if I can get you to, there we go. It is diagonal all over lace, and then it is trimmed in garter stitch. So it is kind of big and boxy. It's made by knitting one big back and 2 fronts, and then you just add some garter stitch edging at the sleeves, and then it's got this great hood. I found one end that I forgot to weave in. All of the others are woven in, but then it's got this great hood that you pick up and knit on, and you do a 3 needle bind off at the top of the hood, so you end up with this really, really nice lightweight hood on the back of your sweater. The only thing I haven't done yet is I haven't measured. You can do I-cords on the edges, just sort of as a waist tie. It is meant to be oversized. I knit the medium, which is for a 38 bust, and I believe the size is a 43 or 44, so it is meant to have lots of positive ease, but it's a swimsuit cover-up, and I think it will actually be really nice with jeans and over a tank top, which is how I intend to wear it, and will cut the chill of the air conditioning a little bit. The big problem in the Midwest is it's always oven-like outside, but when you get inside, it feels chilly. Everybody runs their their air conditioners, not so much at a low temperature, but runs the air conditioners because it is so humid, and the only way to keep things like a modicum of dry and not feel like you're constantly sticky and wet is to run the air. So whenever we go into restaurants, I am cold. So I feel like this will be a really nice summer sweater. I sort of threw caution to the wind. I did wash it in the sink with some Eucalan, and then I decided, because cotton can take a long time to dry and I really wanted to kind of finish blocking it, I put it in the dryer for about a half an hour on cool heat and got it almost completely dry, and then laid it out to do kind of the final drying, and it's really nice. It didn't shrink. It feels nice and soft. It's cotton and acrylic. It was made to be washed in the washing machine. I probably will throw it in the washing machine for future washes, which means it's a really easy care garment, and I just really, it's a great summertime something, and I can imagine making these for the kids when they're a little bit older. It's not specifically sized for that, but I could probably figure it out, and there are instructions on how to lengthen. Yeah. So I knit this in about 4 1/4 skeins of Kramer Yarn's Tatami Tweed. I really enjoyed both the pattern and the yarn. I have a little bit left over. Kramer generously sent me 5 skeins for review, and I really enjoyed it. So I can recommend the yarn, I can recommend the pattern, and if you're just looking for a fun summer cover-up, I calculated the cost today. They sent me, I didn't pay for it, I did get the yarn for free, but the retail value of the yarn is $29.50. You can't beat that for a pool cover-up or a summer sweater. You just can't. So if you're looking for something for the kids or something fun and just soft for yourself, give it a try. So that is my review of Kramer Yarns. Let's talk about what's on my needles now and what's going to be on my needles. I am doing a sample knit for a Good Yarn Sarasota, and I showed you that last week. It is out of Anzula Luxury Fibers Breeze Lace, which is a 65% silk, 35% linen in the colorway Alice. And here we go, Anzula Fibers. And I am knitting the Riverton tee, which is by Sheila Toy Stromberg. It is kind of an A-line tee. It has some garter and eyelet edging, and then it's got a really sweet pleat right here in the front. I am trying to knit this on a pretty tight deadline. I'm trying to knit it in 2 weeks. So I started this past weekend, and I got pretty far. It took me a little bit to get gauge. I am down a couple needle sizes from what it suggests. And I am alternating skeins, which I believe is good because I really think one skein is quite a bit lighter than the other skein. But I don't know, maybe I'm making that up. Anyway, so what I have so far is this. It doesn't look like a lot, but it is the bottom. Sorry for all the ends in the way. As I said, there's like a garter and eyelet edging down at the bottom, and then it is an A-line, so I have quite a few more inches to go. This is about between 6 and 7 inches in, which was what I was able to get done this weekend in 2 days. My plan is to try and knit 3 inches a day. This is pretty much all I have to work on right now, and like I said, I'd really like to get it done in the next couple of weeks. It looks like it's pooling a little bit, even though I am alternating skeins, which is a bit of a bummer. But I think it will be nice and lightweight. The yarn is really nice to work with. It does have a little veg matter in it, and I do have to be careful because I tried to pull some veg matter out and accidentally pulled it apart. So I do have to be careful when I knit it. And I believe like a lot of linens, that washing and blocking will be everything. This is knit in a size extra large, which is for a, I believe, 40 to 44 or somewhere around there bust. It does have some positive ease. And like I said, this is a sample knit for a Good Yarn Sarasota, Florida. So I will continue on with this, and my goal is to be to basically finish the body, which is 16.5 inches. So my goal is to finish the body by the time we speak next, so that then I can work on the top part, which basically it's knit in the round until the underarms, and then you do the top part, and the really nice thing is the only place that this is seamed is at the shoulders, and it's with a Kitchener stitch. So I am very excited to work on this and also to crank this one out. I think this will be a quick knit, but an enjoyable knit, and I really do like the linen and silk is really nice to feel. So that's what I'm working on. Again, Riverton Tea by Sheila Toy Stromberg in Anzula Breeze lace, and I will be sharing that with you over the next couple weeks as I finish that. So that is the first project for the month. The second project for the month is another review, and I think I'm going to knit another little kind of lace weight shell for myself, although actually this is fingering weight. The next thing that I'm going to work with is Brown Sheep Cotton Fine. Everybody had their cotton yarns on special this summer and to review. This is an 80% cotton, 20% merino wool. It comes in 50 gram skeins that are 215 yards per skein. Gauge is 6.5 stitches per inch. Needle size is a 2. Colorway is New Age Teal. So this is Brown Sheep Company Cotton Fine. And like I said, it's a teal colorway. I have 4 skeins, which is about 860 yards, which is just enough to do the new, I think it's called Breezeway. I will link it in the show notes, by Laura Ayler. It is just a really simple tee. And so that is what I plan to do with these. And I'm going to try and make myself finish the Riverton Tea first. So then the last 2 weeks of the month, this is my plan. So I have ambitious plans. I also have a sample knit that I can't show you that I need to start on this month. And then I have another review knit for August that I am going to be doing a design for. So I have my work cut out for me in the next 2 months. So that is what is on the knitting needles. Notice I haven't put the kids' sweaters in there anywhere. I may work on socks just a little bit when I'm out and about, but I have my work cut out for me. So stay tuned, watch the space. There will be lots of new projects and possibly even a new pattern in the next couple months. So let's talk about the biggest thing for this month, because it's always the biggest thing for July, which is Tour de Fleece. Many of you have joined our team, and I'm very excited about that. If you have not, well, okay, I'll say a couple things. One, I had a comment asking me to explain what Tour de Fleece was. I have done this before, so I will do a really quick recap. There is also a thread in the Ravelry group that is linked in the show notes. Tour de Fleece is the spinner's accompaniment to Tour de France. Each year in the summer in France, Tour de France is the big bike race that goes thousands of miles across France, and it is done by, it is super grueling. It is a 3-week race, I believe 21 days of riding. Oh, not 21, I think it's 19 days of riding because they do have 2 rest days. And the bikers bike all over France, including the Alps and the Pyrenees. And it is an amazing race if you haven't watched before. I'm not super into sports, but I do like the bike race. And I don't remember exactly when it started. My first year participating was 2010, which was when I first became a spinner, but it was around well before then. One of the sort of Ravelry events, because it is kind of a big deal on Ravelry, is there is a Tour de Fleece group. And the Tour de Fleece group started because a bunch of spinners said, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we spun our wheels along with the bikers who are spinning their wheels on the tour? No, we do not think our accomplishment is as great as what they are doing, but it is a way for us to be spectators and also enjoy and have some fun midsummer, which is typically not the biggest crafting part of the year because it is warm and we are outdoors and doing all kinds of things. Like I said, I got into watching Tour de France, and so every summer for me, it is a 3-week respite. I usually do not knit that much. This summer I will not get to do that because I do have to knit. But usually what I do is I take the 3 weeks and I do almost nothing but spin. And I watch the tour recaps each day. I watch a couple hours of the tour while I spin. So every year I pick something to spin. Let me go back and forth. I'm going to show you what I'm going to spin, and then I will talk more generally about how you can participate. For this year, I decided to pick up one of my Hello Yarn patchwork kits. Hello Yarn patchwork kits are where she takes kind of the leftovers of fiber. She does extensive quality control with her braids, and so sometimes she'll pull off bits at either end or in the middle, or places where she doesn't 100% like the color. There's nothing wrong with this fiber, it just doesn't fit in with what she wants to send out as her braids. She keeps bins of these, and every so often she goes through and bags them up. Sometimes they're all the same color, sometimes they're a mix of colors, sometimes they're a mix of fibers, it just kind of depends, and she usually sells them in approximately 1 pound kits. Mine actually happens to be 14 ounces. I only know because I looked at it the other day. It is a test dye number 25, or that might just be bag number 25, Polworth, 14 ounces, and it is in great pinks and reds, and then kind of this acidy green and a little bit of orange. And I picked this up, I can't even tell you when. It's gotta be several years ago already. Oh, and there's some purple down at the bottom, which I really like. I picked this up several years ago and thought it would make a nice sweater. I can probably get a sweater quantity out of 14 ounces because I can probably get between 1,000 and 1,200 yards, which means some kind of simple pullover. I really like my Moxie pullover that I knit out of waterweed, which was Hello Yarn's waterweed. It was like a green and blue and silk, and I've worn it a few times on the podcast, but I really liked it. It's just a simple, it's got a ribbed neckline, and then it's just a simple pullover. So my guess is I'll do something similar. I could also do a little bit of a cardigan. The only thing that I haven't decided on this is how exactly I'm going to spin it. I haven't decided if I'm going to spin it sort of for maximum barber pullness, which is usually how I spin for my shop, and usually how I do that is I tear everything up into tiny strips, and then I just pull indiscriminately from them and spin as is, and it kind of creates maximum barber pull. The other thing that I could do is I could sort of spin this fractally, which is divide the fiber in half and spin half of it like all the way through, kind of big solid color streaks, like the big chunky color parts, and then spin the other half in tiny strips. What this would do is this would create a subtly striping yarn. And I think I might do that because I'd really kind of like a stripy pullover. So that is what I'm going to do. I haven't taken it out of the bag. I'm sorry for the glare. But that is 14 ounces of Polworth, and I am going to try and get that all done during the tour. In past years, I have spun almost 2 pounds, so I did pull out a few individual braids that I will get to if I finish that, but my goal probably is to finish that and, have that waiting in the wings as something for myself. I did pull out a variety of braids for prizes, so let's get back to how you can participate. Unfortunately, you have to be a spinner for this one. However, it does not matter what kind of spinner you are. You can spin 5 minutes a day, you can spin 10 minutes a day, you can spin on a spindle, you can learn to spin, you can spin on a charka, you can spin on a wheel, you can spin on an electric wheel. Doesn't matter to me what kind of fiber you use, who the dyer is, whether it's natural. Spin. Enjoy spinning. Come talk to everyone in the thread about spinning as much or as little as you want to. Cheer people on. Set a goal for yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody else's goal is. Set a goal for yourself and work on it during the tour. The tour has lots of things that you can participate in if you want to. There are challenge days, which are the days where the riders are riding their hardest in the Tour de France. You are encouraged to set a challenge for yourself that day. Maybe spin a new fiber, maybe spin longer, maybe try and get all the way through plying. I don't know. Anything that's challenging for you. The tour is what you make of it, and like I said, this year I am not going to be able to do nothing but spin, but my plan is still to try and get a couple hours of spinning in every night and then a bit of knitting as well. So if you are interested, come and join us. I will be awarding fiber to anyone. I will not be spinning it for you. You will be getting the fiber because this is a spinning event. I will award several bags of fiber throughout the tour. Usually I pick anywhere between 3 and 5 from the chatter thread. And then at the end, I have you post a final post in an FO thread of everything you spun during the tour, and then I will draw a final winner out of that. So all the fiber that I'm giving away will be good fibers. I have lovely fibers in my stash and I would love to share them with you. And so, like I said, the tour is what you make of it. The more you participate, the more chances you have to win. Like I said, I have two rules if you want to participate on our team. One, you have to spin. Sorry, it's a spinning event. I can't do knitting and weaving and crocheting. It's a spinning event. Two, you have to be a member of the group to win a prize. You don't have to be a member of the group to join the team. You don't have to be a member to chat. You have to be a member to win a prize. So those are my only two rules. Double dip, triple. I'm going too fast. Double dip, triple dip, be on as many teams as you want, but we'd love to have you on our team as well. So that is all I have for you today. I am looking forward to getting started on my fiber. I need to, if you want to do any prep this week, you are certainly welcome to. Clean your wheel, get all the fibers out of it, re-oil it, get yourself a nice comfy chair, select the fibers you want to spin. If you want to pre-draft them, pre-draft them. If you want to divide fiber and weigh it, do that. If you want to sample a little bit, go for it. Let's kick it off on July 6th. So that's what I have for you this week. I hope that you are having a lovely week, and I will see you next Monday with hopefully some spinning to share and also some knitting. Until I see you again, have a lovely week, and happy knitting, happy spinning, happy sipping, and I'll see you next time. Bye.